All right, peace. Let's get into it. The Nas New York State of Mind tour with Nas, De La, and Wu Tang. Now, I'm not mad at the lineup. It's a good lineup. Hip hop, definitely authentic hip hop artists. So there's a lot of points I want to get through. So let's, you know what I mean. Let's start it off. First, the venue. It was in Seattle. I'm like, why? Like none of the Wu Tang is from Seattle. Like why are they doing Seattle, right? But I mean, probably due to some kind of contract. Maybe because it's on Amazon. So that's another thing. If you got Amazon, that's what you want to check it out on, right? And it said like Amazon concert series or something like that. I didn't know they had such a thing, but it's on Amazon, right? So maybe Amazon was like, "Yo, we got this bag for you. We want to shoot your next thing." So they didn't really have a say in where it was done. But why didn't they do it someplace like the Barclays or Madison Square Garden? I'm not a New Yorker. I have not been to either one of those places. You hear about this in legend and everything. So you think they would have did it at a New York spot. But again, we don't know. The contract might have been like, yo, this is what we willing to pay. We willing to pay this shit now. So there's that. And the other thing was the crowd. It's like two hours plus, and the crowd for the majority of it was Seattle. You let me down, man. This is Wu Tang. You talking about this is hip hop legends, and it was just kind of like they were kind of like lukewarm. So we gonna go, unit by unit or whatever. So first of all, De La started off. They didn't give De La enough time. I felt like Wu Tang and Nas, they went back and forth. Like Nas did a set, Wu Tang did a set, Wu Tang did another set. Nas brung Wu Tang out, Wu Tang brung Nas out. Like it seemed like De La only had like a short set in the beginning, and it wasn't really all that full. If you look, there was a lot of empty seats. So I don't know if people were filing in as De La was doing a thing, but a really hype moment was when Talib Kweli came out. It was unexpected. So I know that I've seen like Talib Kweli be an interview with De La, but I didn't know that he was on this tour, and he's kind of like in place of Dave or True Goy. Shout out to Dave. Rest in peace, Dave. You know what I mean? So that's a great honor, man. De La Soul is an iconic group. Imagine you being a dude in De La Soul, like, yo, come with us. I want you to say our cherished brother, member, the heart of the group. I want you to spit his lines for us. We have that much respect for you. Like that's a big, you know what I mean? When Talib came out, I was hyped. I was like, oh shit, they brought Talib out. So I was kind of thinking about it now. I'm like, man, didn't they brought out like Mos Def 2 or something like that? And they did like their little one too, but they probably couldn't because their name's not on the bill and they're not about to just rock for free. So there's that. Up until about the 40-minute mark when it was just De La and Nas, De La slaughtered them. De La did a masterclass on performing, right? The little thing you see they do, the rock cocaine flow and they chilling, and you know what I mean? Like they knew the perfect timing. They didn't take a long period of time to be like, okay, we're gonna reanimate or whatever. Like they're seasoned, and you could tell like it fit together like a well-oiled machine. And up until the 40-minute mark when Wu Tang came out, RZA came out, and then RZA started announcing the different acts or whatever. The crowd wasn't too hyped for Wu Tang. You know what I mean? It was alright, but it should have went crazy. It's Wu Tang Clan. I'm expecting the building to shake, the rafters to come down. Like Wu Tang, are you crazy? Like they was just like, okay. You know what I mean? Like that's why I don't know. They should have taken it out of Seattle and brought it to someplace in New York. But shout out to Seattle. They obviously supported. It was like thousands and thousands. Immeasurable, not immeasurable. Like too many to count people that was there, right? I'm just saying. Imagine going on stage, spitting some shit, and 20,000 people reciting that shit with you. Son, like I don't even know what that feeling feels like, but I know it's gonna be up there. So that's what I'm striving for. So they gonna love me for my ambition. Eventually. It doesn't even have to be a music. But they come out there and people are like, yo, right now, I can't get 5 people to pay to see me. Them 5 people have to be family. But I'm gonna get there eventually, right? So what I was saying is that Wu-Tang, when they came out, and then U-God, man. What was U-God doing? I met U-God before, and he was unkind to me. So I'm not a super U-God fan. And if you see U-God with DJ Vlad, that Vlad interview, I know y'all seen it. That's his real personality. Or when I seen him, that's like his type of personality. You know, he's like, you know, not necessarily with me on that level, but his current that he was coming in was kind of disagreeable, right? Anyway, moving on. But he came out to some chop, chop, chop. I'm like, bro, nobody knows that song. Like, what are we doing? Yeah, Wu-Tang, come out to the shit. Trapped in a rap world bizarre, and that would have been crazy. I'd have been like, what? Because I don't know. I know he has a lot. U-God has a lot of records, but I don't know him like that. But if he did that bizarre shit, I would have been okay. I'm with him. I actually seen him in person live in South Beach, and he did that joint. You know that joint. He got one bang, at least one. You know what I mean? Solo, as far as I'm talking about solo. All right. Let's talk about, yo, Method Man came out and Method Man showed his abs. I'm like, Method Man just lift his shirt up. I'm like, what the? Yo, you seen that shit? I'm like, what? I'm out in the country. I'm like, yo, what is Method Man doing this shit? But I understand. I'm in the gym too, son. So we're gonna talk about clothing. If y'all feel that's RuPaulish to talk about these people's gear, whatever, you can shut off now. We got to get into it. Everybody else had on like outfits. Method Man came out in an undershirt like me. I'm like, yo, I Method Man stealing my steez, but he been in the gym. That's why everybody else, they wanted you to see the Gucci or whatever. Method Man's like, nah, you want to see the hard work. Then he showed his abs. I'm like, yo, Matthew, ODing. But once I get my six pack, son, I'm gonna be doing the same thing. I'm gonna be like, yo, I'm gonna be in the grocery store without a shirt on, everything. They're like, what's wrong with this dude? I'm like, you wanna see this hard work I put in? But Raekwon came out. Raekwon's like the flyest man on stage. I'm like, come on now, Ray. You overdoing it now. Raekwon came Gucci down and shit, and it looked like a light day. I'm like, yo, this dude Raekwon, man, it's no joke when it comes to the style, right? And then who else? Who else came out and they got crazy for? Oh, also, come on, man, where's the Jizza? I noticed RZA don't try to pull that on me. When Jizza's verse was about to come in and triumph, he started off on some Wu-Tang, Wu-Tang, when Jizza's part was supposed to rhyme. So I wonder why Jizza didn't show up. I mean, if they even got Method Man, that's another thing. Method Man is by far the most charismatic of Wu-Tang. When he came out, the shit went crazy. But I felt like they should have been like that for the whole Wu-Tang. You know, like the camera did like a strobe light of the crowd, and it was like packed to make it seem like the crowd was jumping. But I'm like squinting, looking. I'm like, they ain't jumping like that. It's just the camera. You know what I mean? And then who else? Right, Nas came out, but Nas did all these joints in the beginning, like King's Disease and stuff like that. Now he did do some joints I never heard before, and I was like, yo, I gotta go. What song is that? Let me revisit it. But when you see him do that shit, when he's talking about being rare, that is 100% wise, intelligent for Poor Righteous Teachers flow. 100%. Listen to that shit and close your eyes. When he's rhyming that little, that is 100% wise, intelligent. So the one right before Rare and the Rare joint, wise, intelligence flow, right? Now, if you watch my other videos, or you know that Big Daddy Kane used Das EFX flow. He said it was on How'd You Get a Record Deal. He said like Iggity or Stiggity or something like that. And I'm like, yo, normally we call that biting, but it is Kane. So, you know, Kane don't need no help. Nas definitely don't need no help from nobody else to find flows. But listen to me 100%. I don't care what y'all argue with me in the comments. 100% that was Wise Intelligence flow. So shout out to Wise Intelligence. Peace to the God, you know? Also, Wu-Tang later on, Capadonna was super high when Young Dirty Bastard was out with the Kane. You see Capadonna just like spacing out and shit. And later on, he's like dancing and shit. They had like 3 different outfit changes, right? Who else? Nas. Like, again, he did. Now, it would have been crazy. What if Nas, he did If I Rule the World or whatever? What if he'd have brought out Lauryn Hill? Or brought out Lauryn Hill for the joint that he has on one of them King's Disease albums? If he'd have did that shit, I'd have jumped out on my seat at home. That shit would have been crazy. He didn't even do my favorite Nas. He didn't do Memory Lane. As you can see, he didn't do like the latest one. Actually, it was from 2023, so we won't give it to him like that. But he didn't do the Nas and Pete Rock that dropped this year that I reviewed, and I was like, But I wonder, I mean, he probably gets tired of doing just his first album. Later on in his, I think his second or third set, he did like his later album. But also too, they had a band backing him up, which I thought was peace. It wasn't just simply a DJ, which they had several DJs. They had Green Lantern, they had DJ Scratch. I didn't see DJ Scratch. Maybe he was the warm-up DJ before everybody started performing. And DJ Allah's Mathematics, DJ for Wu-Tang and shit. So they had several DJs in there. Also, the person who got the biggest forward for my non-Jamaican people, the person who got the crowd the most hype, was when Ghostface came in that all-white outfit. Son, he killed that shit. Yo, he murdered that shit. He should have been like that from the beginning. You know what I mean? Not he, but the whole show should have been, especially the Wu-Tang section. The crowd went crazy for that. The other time when the crowd went crazy is when they asked them to put up their Wu W's. And they put up their phone too, so Nas could do one mic. When he put up their phone for one mic, that was crazy too. Like, you could see how packed that shit was. That shit looked like the opposite. You know the black dot of Pepper? The white phone light was the opposite, like Pepper, but a white version, right? But that shit was crazy. So all in all, I would say it's maybe like about an 8 out of 10. I think the venue was whack. Well, not really even the venue, because it's just a building, it's just walls. But the crowd was whack. They weren't really as hype as they should have been. And major thing, the sound. That shit kept cutting out. I'm like, yo, what is Amazon doing? But Amazon just probably put up the money after it was done. I'm not sure. I doubt they was the one like setting up the mics and shit. But plenty of times, probably if we added everything up, there's probably like 4 to 5 minutes where if you add up all the different acts and 30 seconds here, 10 seconds here, when the mics were bad, like you basically had to just know the song because the mic went from yeah to like yeah. I'm like, what the hell? Is it my TV? I want to tap. I don't got the big back TV. I want to tap the TV. Like, yo, adjust the coat hanger antenna or something. So, like I said, it's probably like a B. It's hype to see that MCs from that day, it's not like an old school tour. Like, oh, we can bring it back, Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock. Like, it wasn't nothing like that where you felt like, yo, this is a revival tour. Like, it's on some Tom Joyner, but of hip-hop type of shit. So, all in all, it's good. It's definitely watchable, especially if you're a fan of hip-hop. At certain points, the first Wu-Tang set, to me, it was kind of boring. I'm like, how much longer this DVD got or whatever? Because we were 40 minutes in, like, it's another hour plus, like, but as it progressed, it got more and more hype, so that's the problem with the Nas, Wu-Tang, De La Soul, New York State of Mind tour DVD. Peace.